So it looks like things for former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Peter Thomas and the ex-husband of Cynthia Bailey continues to get worse. Now, after reports of having trouble with his staff, there are reports coming out that his Bar One Miami location has been kicked out of their location because of almost $500,000 in back rent. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. And for those of you that haven't gotten your Pride merch, we're going to give you a few more days. Head on over to houseofkempire.com or TheKempire.com and click the shop button for our Pride merch. I know Pride Month is over. However, you know we don't keep the same stuff every year. So get some limited edition Pride merch available and some Juneteenth merch while supplies last. So I've been watching this whole sort of buildup of stuff happening with Peter Thomas, you know, the ex-husband of Cynthia Bailey, who I met at BravoCon. She was lovely. And you know, I have in the past said, you know what, the fact that Peter Thomas hasn't been able to continue a career in the restaurant business is a credit to him. And it's not because he's Jamaican, but it's because I feel like he does know what he's doing on some level, but that doesn't make him the best at it. Because he has started restaurant, he's been doing this business for decades. And it seemed as if he was really building over the last few years, especially after being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm sure that really did help him. And anytime you see him, he's synonymous with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But there have been reports about how he treats his employees, allegedly, and now owing nearly $500,000 in back rent. So let's get into the details of some of what is going on. And this is according to our friends over at Radar Online. They said the Real Housewives of Atlanta star Cynthia Bailey's ex-husband, Peter Thomas, Miami restaurant Bar One, or some of you call it Bar None, is being sued for eviction. According to court documents obtained by Radar, it says that Bar One Miami Beach, which Peter has run since 2019, was hit with a lawsuit by Bentley Bay Retail LLC. They continue, they said, in the complaint, Bentley Bay Retail said it is the landlord of the property where Bar One is located. Per the filing, the company said it entered into a commercial lease agreement with Thomas in 2018. The company said that Peter Thomas was previously sued for eviction over unpaid payments. So there is a pattern, all right? However, the parties at the time worked out a deal in 2020 where Peter Thomas agreed to pay an outstanding debt. So a copy of the settlement shows Bar One agreed to pay $270,000 to resolve all issues at that time. Per the settlement, Bentley Bay Retail said Peter Thomas's company agreed if any checks were returned for insufficient funds, the deal would be void and Bar One would have to leave. And according to the suit, the company said that Peter Thomas submitted various payments that were returned for insufficient funds July 2022, August 2022. This is like the prime time to be in Miami and to be at your restaurant. So September 2022, October 2022, and March of 2023. They said Bentley Retail said Thomas owes them a total of $422,000 in rent, outstanding costs, utility charges, and sales taxes. The suit continues, and they said Peter Thomas was notified in October of 2022. Was that when he was still fighting? I can't remember when we reported. No, I think this was earlier this year where he was fighting that other situation, that criminal case where he was accused of attacking a patron of his restaurant. But that was in the DMV location. They said that Peter Thomas was notified in October 2022 that he was in default. The new lawsuit was filed in the same month. However, the company said that the case was delayed after Peter Thomas began negotiation talks. So the company said that the negotiations were unsuccessful and now it wants Bar One out of the location immediately. So Radar previously reported that Peter Thomas was sued personally in another lawsuit over another restaurant he planned to open, which is interesting because it's showing a little bit more behind the scenes of what is going on with Peter Thomas and his business and life since, after Real Housewives of Atlanta. So they said in 2022, Peter announced that he was opening an upscale supper club. Nothing to do with the Real Housewives of Potomac restaurant that he was opening with Wendy. But we know that's not happening. So he's opening this upscale supper club called One Society and plans to spend $3 million on the project. And I know what you're thinking. How are you going to get that money? Well, investors. Okay. A company called DTSDT Retail sued One Society over unpaid rent. Thomas argued the company had breached the lease by failing to provide him adequate access to the location. The judge ended up siding with the landlord and ordered One Society to hand over the keys. Is that it? They didn't have to pay that back rent? Well, I guess they just wanted them out. So Radar did post a follow-up to this story saying that, and this is the title, Cynthia Bailey's ex. Poor Cynthia. She's like, he has not been married to me in such a long time. Peter Thomas, formerly of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, was seen partying in Miami due with this as he faces eviction. They said Real Housewives of Atlanta star Peter Thomas has been living it up in Miami at his local restaurant Bar 1 facing eviction. On June 29, Thomas was all smiles in a video shared with former Love and Hip Hop star Erica Mena ahead of the birthday bash for Safari Samuels being held at the location this weekend. And wasn't he also in Miami with Naomi, who has since been divorced? You know Naomi, Nene's estranged boyfriend, we'll say. And I know some of you are saying, can that be your boyfriend if he's still married? Well, now he's officially divorced. We didn't do a separate story on that because I've been away. But yes, for those that don't know, Naomi is divorced now, officially. And he's celebrating it on social media. But he's friends with Peter Thomas. And Nene and Peter and Naomi were at, I believe, at his location, his Bar 1 or Bar None, as you guys like to call it, on there. They posted it on social media. They were hanging out there. But they said that he was recently there with Love and Hip Hop, Erica Mena, and Safari Samuels. But that's not the only thing Bar 1 related that's been going on. So it was just back in May where former employees have been trying to expose Peter Thomas for allegedly not paying his staff. So our friends over at Taste of Reality wrote this back in May. They said an employee for Bar 1 Miami Beach is exposing Peter Thomas for not paying his staff as well as some other sketchy business practice, allegedly. The former Real Housewives of Atlanta husband is the subject of a financial scandal being documented on TikTok by Candy, and is allegedly, quote, under investigation.
Okay, so this lady told me she was going to pay me today in cash because they're under investigation, but now she's not paying me. Say bye, Alicia.
So, according to the Peter's Debt, they write, the disgruntled employee, and rightfully so, took to social media to share her experience working for Cynthia Bailey's ex-husband. They'd love to bring Cynthia into this, but I know clickbait. She's good clickbait. Bar 1, she began, all the receipts are here. They don't want to pay me my money. I'm sitting here till the police come. They owe me $1,409. They don't want to pay me my money.
They don't want to pay me my money. They owe me $1,400. They don't want to pay me. Bar 1. All the receipts are here. They don't want to pay me my money. And I'm sitting here till the police come. They owe me $1,400.
The TikToker user called Peter an effing scammer before calling out his shady business practices. She said, your checks bounce and you don't want to pay people their money. So that's the thing. This is the reason why I'm bringing up this story, because a lot of people are discrediting this former employee. But when you have a legal situation accusing you of the same thing, of not paying your debts, it kind of gives more credence to what she was saying. She continues to say, give me my bread today. Eesh. So in regards to the IRS, and again, this is all alleged, they said Peter and the execs at Bar 1 Miami were accused of illegal business practices. The person said in this video, you mad at me because y'all some frauds, y'all scamming. I don't know the other people. Again, Peter Thomas is the face because of his stint on Real Housewives of Atlanta, but obviously he has other investors. She continues, she says, y'all pay your workers under the table. Y'all either pay them under the table or your checks bounce. Literally. Candy told her followers not to ever try to work here because they're not going to pay your money. You're going to be waiting for 3 weeks in the hole. You're not going to get your bread. it gets worse. According to this article, they said they're going to pocket your money because they owe hella money to the IRS. They have to pay back all their loans that they owe people, so they pocket your money. They pocket your money so that they can pay loans back. That's why it takes you so long to get paid. So according to this same woman on social media, she says, this lady told me she was going to pay me today in cash because they're under investigation. So she documented a lot of this on social media. I will cite my sources per usual in the description so you can see some of this. I'm sure you've probably seen her on social media by now. In regards to this, I've just been waiting on like court documents before really talking about this stuff. However, now that we actually have a legal situation, court documents of Peter Thomas and I'm sure his associates not paying their rent for Miami, the Miami location of their bar one, and all of this is surrounding that particular location. I'm not sure if he has different investors for the bar one in, is it Baltimore where that one is? I don't know. I don't care. You guys know what I'm talking about. So there are multiple locations, and his one society seemed to have fallen through because he wasn't able to secure that location. I mean, like I said before, Peter Thomas has been investing in a restaurateur. I don't know if I can give him that name, but I think we should, for a long time now. And the fact that he has multiple locations right now, I want to give him credit for that. At the same time, it seems as if there's a lot of smoke in regards to the business practices, allegedly. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts. Have you ever been to Bar One in the DMV area or in the Miami area? Is the food good? Is the service good? Can you sense that there are issues amongst the staff? Because if not, then at least you can say, you know what, quality service, quality food. We just got to get the business side of this correct. I have to say the location in the DMV, it looks beautiful. We did see briefly the Miami location because you remember what happened at the Miami location on the Real Housewives of Potomac. But I don't remember being like, oh, that's a fabulous location. I feel like the one in DMV looks so much better. But again, I haven't been to either one. You guys will let me know in the comment section because you guys are our little field investigators. Guys, as always, let's continue this conversation in the comment section. As always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.